Welcome to yet another video on SRID Cloud. This is a follow-up to my earlier videos on how to set up OpenShift on a bare metal system. It's a two-part series, so this is a follow-up for that. So after installing your OpenShift environment, you need to do quite a few things before you can proceed to deploying your applications and so on. The first thing is make sure the OC-get-nodes command works with and displays all the nodes. In my case, I have a 3 master and 3 worker node environment. And the first thing I want to do is run this OC get CSR and see if there are anything that is in pending state. If it is in pending state, like if there are some CSRs that are in pending state, then you need to run this command to approve them. Right now there are nothing in pending, so it's not doing it, but you can see from the above it got approved. And then before you can log into the OpenShift environment through browser, you will need the administrator password. So kubeadmin will be the user ID if you are sticking to admin, or you can add additional users, but we'll see those things later on. But to get the password, all you need to do is cat this file under install. This is the directory we set up at the very beginning of the OpenShift installation. Auth and kube admin password. So this is the password, AOHTM. So you're supposed to do this. To copy this password and then use it when you log in through the browser. And apart from this, you need to do one more thing. When you deploy your application from source code, let's say for example you have your application on GitHub and you want to deploy that source code based application directly into your OpenShift environment, then you will need a registry. A registry is where the images are stored, and OpenShift comes with such a registry, and that registry needs to be configured. For some reason it is not configured out of the box. So how do you do that? You have to run this command to begin with. Make sure the cluster image registry operator is in running state, and the image registry is also in running state, and I think that registry has got bunch of nodes. There are 6 nodes in this environment, 3 master and 3 worker, and I think they're all running on those nodes. So let us see if we can get the information. Yeah, as you can see, all nodes, the node pods, are all running on each node, master 1, 2, 3 and worker 1, 2, 3. So this is very, very important. Otherwise your OpenShift environment may not be healthy. The second thing you need to do is run this command. Sorry, let me do it again. The OC edit configs image registry operator OpenShift IO, and make sure the replicas is set to 1 and storage is set to empty dir. So this is important. Otherwise, unless you are doing something very advanced, setting up some complicated storage environment for your image registry, this is what you need to do. And there's one more parameter that needs to be set, the management state. So out of the box, this should see as disabled or removed or something like that. I think the removed. you need to change it to managed. And then when you quit, when you make some changes and quit, the whatever you're doing now, which is the config, whose name is cluster, the cluster config, will be updated. So I did not make any changes now, but you will be making some changes. You'll be changing the management state from remote to managed. Then the object will be reinitialized or updated. So this is important, and also you need to look at this other one, the config image registry cluster, and make sure the replicas is set to 1, the management state is set to managed. This is the same one. No, it's a different one. So make sure these two are set right. The managed state is set to managed, not removed. And finally, you run this command and make sure the image registry is running. The image registry is the cluster operator. So all of these need to be done before you can proceed to deploy your application from source code. If for some reason, if you developed your application in GitHub and then you made it, built it, and pushed it to Docker Hub or Quay or Artifactory or any of your image registry, and you are pulling your application from those registries, then what I just said is not applicable. But in case if you are building your application directly from the source code from GitHub, then you need to do all these things. So now it's time to log in to the Cube with the Cube admin user ID and then the password. Let us get the password once again. So here is the password. I will keep it in clipboard. And now let me switch over to the browser. So here is the browser interface. So how do I get the browser interface? What is the name of this URL? So now let's go back to the command prompt again. And you need to run this command. Let me get the command in a moment. So here is the URL that you will be using to log into your web application. So that is exactly what we are going to do now. So in DNS environment, this should be the name of the URL, and its IP address should be IP address of your services box, wherever the DNS is running, the Bastion server is running. So now let's switch over to, let me get the password once again into clipboard. And let me switch over to OpenShift environment. So here it is. And cube admin is the ID and then the password which I copied. So I'm logged in. So now let me create a namespace. So now let me create a new namespace called my project and create. So it's created. Now I'm going to deploy a web application into this environment. For that I'll go to developer and then from Git. So I have an application in my GitHub repository. I want to build it and also deploy it in this OpenShift environment. So how do I do that? Is to get the GitHub repository location and then enter it here. And it is Python based, so I click on Python. I think it already detected Python as the type, builder type, and I can leave everything else as is and then create. So it's creating. If I click on this icon, I can see that the build is going on. I can click on this view logs to see what's happening. It's downloading the application source code from GitHub, and it is building it right now. And it will push this built image to the internal registry that we configured at the beginning of this video. So let's wait for it to complete. So now it is building the image. I published a separate video a while ago on how to do the same thing on a code-ready container environment on your Mac, and this is exactly the same thing on this OpenShift environment, multi-node OpenShift environment. It's a little bit slow here, but let's wait. Yeah, it got completed. So push is good. So now let me go back to the same topology view. Here is the application, and on the right side everything is looking good. The pod is running. Now let me click on this route. So I'll be invoking this web application, which is going to print a hello world string. That's all very simple. So let me do that, and there it is. The hello Sridhar Venkat is shown on the web browser. That means the code collected the strings from the web application and returned it back. So this is how you deploy an application on an OpenShift environment, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be producing a lot more videos on OpenShift in near future. So have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you all in a few days. Bye for now.